This is KRQE News 13 with Dick Niffing and Diane Anderson.
The Drunk Busters hotline is a great idea.
If you're on the road and you spot someone driving erratically, you can just call pound DWI and dispatchers will send a patrol car to intercept that driver and stop him before he kills someone. At least that's the theory, but it doesn't always work. News 13's Kim Holland is on special assignment.
Drunk Busters, this is Kim. What's your location?
1,800 people call into the Drunk Busters hotline every month.
You've reached Drunk Busters
to report suspected drunk drivers. And some of those calls could be a matter of life or death.
Oh my gosh.
On November 30th in the early evening, Robin McCoy spotted what she thought was a woman drunk behind the wheel on I-25 near San Mateo.
She'd go over to the left and hit the line, and she'd jerk back over to try to get into that lane. Thought she was going to either kill herself or kill somebody else.
McCoy called pound DWI. That operator notified state police and quickly passed her on to Albuquerque 911.
We're coming up on Tramway now.
After the 3-minute-long phone call, the dispatcher promised to send officers to the area to look for the white Chevy Trailblazer. They then ended the call. But as McCoy followed the woman, they entered into Sandoval County, so she called Drunk Busters back.
We got an extremely bad driver, northbound I-25.
All right, if you'll just give me a few minutes.
Drunk Busters operator then transferred her to a Sandoval 911 dispatcher.
You're crossing a lane now to hit somebody. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I hope somebody's coming soon. I really do, oh my gosh. We've got Bernalillo is where you're coming through, and they've got deputies further up too, so that's why we're kind of waiting to see which way she's going to go.
She almost hit the retaining wall. She was going into the other lane.
McCoy followed the suspected drunk driver as she got off I-25 at the Placitas exit.
Comes a car the opposite way. Please stay over, lady. Please stay over.
This was the longest 11-minute call McCoy has ever made.
Is there deputies close?
Where are you guys? And I kept pleading, and you could hear it in my voice. I kept pleading, where are you? Where are you? I was almost in tears because I was so angry.
The suspect made it to these mailboxes where McCoy says she now had no doubt the woman was hammered.
She stumbled out of the car. She stumbled to the mailboxes to get her mail, and she fell back into the car.
And after following the woman for nearly 15 minutes, McCoy lost the woman after she pulled down a private drive in Placitas. Law enforcement officers never caught up to her.
You got to remember that most law enforcement agencies in the state have staffing issues, and we can't be every place at once.
Lieutenant Pat Garrett, who heads up Drunk Busters, admits that 15 minutes is a bit long for officers to reach a suspected drunk driver.
Well, I can understand. She's really frustrated. She called pound DWI and expected an officer to respond immediately within the next 3 or 4 minutes. And although we try as hard as we can, it doesn't always happen.
But it could have happened in this case. There was a Sandoval County deputy in the Placitas area that night who was just minutes away. When he got the call, he responded within 5 minutes. But he got the call too late.
Is that it took 6.5 minutes before they actually dispatched him out to this area where this suspect drunk driver was at.
Sheriff Trujillo says dispatch didn't specifically give his deputy the call, but the Sandoval County 911 spokesman, John Francis, says the call did go out countywide. You can hear that happening 2 minutes into McCoy's call.
The word went out immediately on the radio to everyone in the area, and if there's a unit in the area that's listening, they're going to respond.
That night, McCoy hoped deputies would still catch up to the suspect.
If they arrest her, please, if they find her, I want them to contact me. I mean, if she goes to jail, I want to be there. I want to tell them what I saw.
But that did not happen. Deputies never made contact with the woman. And since an officer didn't witness the erratic driving and didn't have proof she was drinking and driving, she will not be charged. Kim Holland, KRQE News 13.
Of the 1,800 people who called Drunk Busters in a month, officers make contact with about 140 suspected impaired drivers. That is just over 7%. They arrest about 30.